Good morning and welcome to the Real Prosperity Project. My name is Tanisha Tearing and this is
Charlene Reedman, hello, hello from the Great White. I'm not gonna say Great White North because it's actually been beautiful. We've had some hot weather.
awesome. So we are the Real Prosperity Project and we are here to share our real life journeys and how we find prosperity in our day-to-day life, talk about real subjects and just be honest and truthful here and very transparent, and we're here to help you also find prosperity in your life.
Yeah, absolutely, so cool. Hey Tanisha, it's well, we're in August now, so summer is unfortunately coming to a close. But who gets the camping bug? Gotta go
Oh, me
camping.
all the time. I
Yeah,
love to camp.
yeah, we did too when our kids were little. It was great. We spent a lot of time. It was neat because we actually rented a spot in the summer, so we just parked our holiday trailer at the spot, and then I can just come and go with the kids as needed and just take the supplies out and off we go. It was amazing. And that was in a place called Shaw's Point, which is just outside of High Prairie, Alberta. So it's the tip of
Oh,
the Slave Lake. Yeah. And we knew so many people out there and the kids could run free and it was just great. We always found a friend that had a boat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it
yep.
was so much fun. And then when we moved to Dawson Creek, we ended up buying property. So we had 20 acres. And to me, that's like camping because we're you can go outside and I put a tent out for the kids and we had the campfire right there. And so we ended up selling our holiday trailer because if you're not using it, I'm a firm believer, if you don't use it, it's time for it to go.
Hmm.
Right. So I kind of wanted to touch a little bit on um, getting recreation vehicles. So that could be your holiday trailer, camper, whatever. Or up here, it's side by sides, quads, and snowmobiles, right? Because, we do have a
Gosh,
lot.
snowmobiles are expensive.
They're
Oh,
so expensive. Like, that's like 20 grand
or more.
or
I
more.
know people that have like $90,000
Oh,
snowmobiles.
they're
Like,
way out of my realm then. Well, and then people from up here, and we have great snowmobiling up here, and same where you are, but people actually drive all the way down to Revelstoke,
hmm
BC to do their. Okay, so then you got to have the trailer to haul it or that flat deck thing. And then you have to have
hmm
all the equipment, especially when you go in the mountains, you have to have that beacon find me because I'm in the avalanche,
yeah,
right? Like there's a lot of things that there's the
there's a lot of
add-ons.
tools.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even a side by side costs more than my car. Like that's 30 to 40,000 for your basic side by side.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's insane. And the thing is a lot of people don't buy these things with cash.
Uh-uh. No.
They
Like
can't afford what they're buying.
when we were in the horse business, I worked my way up to the trailer of my dreams. I actually paid cash for it, by the way, and I bought it secondhand.
Amazing.
And so I had a living quarters in the front, not a huge one. It had a shower, bathroom, little kitchen, the couch folded out, and then my bed was in the gooseneck part. And then the horses, of course, there's spots for them, three of them. And you know what? I loved it. I absolutely loved that trailer. Made my life as a rodeo mom way happier, right?
Yeah.
But when we didn't use it one summer, I had it all ready to go, and we never even used it one time. In the fall, I put it up for sale because I'm like, even though I had no payments on it, I'm like, still, it's taking up space. If that makes sense.
hmm Yep.
But we've come across a few people in the last few months, because like I say, it's people want to get out and enjoy life and go camping which is great. So off you go to the dealerships as you would with a vehicle, and
Mm-hmm.
you find a trailer within your budget, because the biggest thing which has happened over the last few years is the biweekly or the weekly. So it makes the payments look so small, right? But do you
Mm-hmm.
know, if you want to actually truly calculate your biweekly payments, so you take your payment, times it by 26 and divide it by 12. So your $400 monthly payment is actually like six something,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then what I'm finding too, and this is sitting with, different clients and whatnot, um, they actually have a concept. They actually believe that this brand new trailer they bought, say it's $20,000, $30,000, they actually believe it's going to be paid off in 5 years. And that's not like just doing their payments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I'm seeing is the clients, I don't know if they're not hearing it properly or if it's not being explained properly, but that just means in 5 years, they have
They
to,
have to
the finance company is going to redo the term again.
term again. They're basically getting a mortgage
Exactly.
on their holiday trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I'm finding is people are under the disillusion that they can afford these things so that they can go out and have fun and enjoy their life. But what it's doing is it's actually doing the opposite, because now all of a sudden you have $800 worth of holiday trailer payments or snowmobile payments, or so you're actually having to work more to pay for this toy that you bought. And what's happening is now you're not getting out and enjoying it.
Because you're working.
Now it's just becoming a lawn ornament
Oh,
because you're working too much to pay for it. And
100%.
this is this vicious cycle that everybody's getting into because of they're not they're being misled when they're purchasing it, A, and
Yeah.
B, they're not listening. They're not listening to all of the words or reading the fine print. When if you really planned and you're like, okay, I would like a camper, whatever. Like
Yeah.
my family just bought a camper. We bought it cash. It's used. It's a 1976, but it is in great shape. Fixed up a few things. Done. Now our family can actually afford to go and enjoy the time out in the camper.
Yeah.
We get to have that time, and we're not paying it off. We saved up. We made a plan. Now we don't have to change our lifestyle to afford the toy. And yeah, I have come across a couple of clients as well where they're on the never never plan.
Yeah.
They're never going to own these things, and they're never going to have the time to use them.
No, not as much as that you like to. So, it's crazy. Like my parents, I mean, they're 90 now. Um, they never did payments ever.
Hmm.
The only thing they paid payments on was their mortgage.
Hmm.
And then, so what I'll recommend to clients, they're like, "Oh, I want to buy a new car." I'm like, "You know what? That's awesome that you want to buy a new car." So what I would suggest is find out what your payment's going to be, and then put that into a savings account biweekly. Because if you go and buy a new vehicle and say your payment's $300 biweekly, and then you just add that to your budget like instantly, it's shocking.
Hmm.
But what if you took 4 to 6 months and did the payments into a savings account? Now you know what it's going to feel like without giving up that money. And if you're comfortable with it, now you have a down payment, or you have the money to, put your insurance, pay cash for a year's worth of insurance, and so you don't do payments on your insurance. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah, like, so that's, something I recommend to people, especially, like, okay, we're coming to the end of summer, and maybe you do want to go buy a new holiday trailer. Well, why don't you take the winter and put those holiday trailer payments away before the spring comes and you're like, get the bug.
Yeah, and that down payment, first off, it reduces your payment.
Yeah.
Second, it can reduce the time frame in which you are locked into that loan for.
Yeah.
Because if you can save up $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, it really does affect the longevity of that term that you're loaning for. It really does.
And you can, like, I mean, the good thing is when you do go get a loan, you can add to it like extra payments, or you can pay it off early too.
Hmm.
But again, the society that we've been growing up with, you guys, that's just not built in to us
Mm-mm,
to do that, to have that discipline.
mm-mm.
Yeah. Or start used and then work your way up.
Yeah. And my mom always said, like, and I loved it. She said, keeping up with the Joneses, right? If
Yeah.
you try to keep up with the Joneses, you're gonna go into debt because guess what? The Joneses probably don't own what they have. They probably are in debt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So true. So true. And again, it's that instant gratification. Right? Like, I
Hmm.
want it now. I don't want to. It's not that you're not working for it, but you want it
Yeah,
now.
you're working hard for it, and that's totally reasonable. Like, but just because you can afford the payment doesn't mean you can afford what you're buying.
Yeah.
And I love Charlene's idea where, you just spend a couple of months saving that exact payment to see if you actually can afford to live like without that extra 5, 6, 700 bucks a month, because that will determine whether or not you actually can afford that payment. Because some of us do not have the luxury of saving up for 10 years to get that thing, to have our fun and live our life now. And that's totally reasonable. But prepare, make sure you actually can afford that payment and make sure it doesn't make you work more and not enjoy the thing that you want to have, right?
Yeah.
And enjoy your kids while they're at home too. Like, if you have to get a second job to pay for your holiday trailer to take your kids camping and your kids aren't seeing you,
Yeah.
is it really worth it? Just get a freaking tent
Yeah.
or a tent trailer. A used tent trailer are actually really cheap.
Yeah. That's what we had when I was growing up. We had a tent trailer. We went, I don't really remember a lot of this because I was pretty little, like two. But
Mm.
yeah, we did a lot of camping growing up, and we went all the way up to Alaska with a
Oh,
tent.
wow.
Yeah. So, and the old green boat, like the cars back then were not like the vehicles we have today.
We had a station wagon and a tent trailer. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm. I loved our tent trailer. It was so awesome because there was just enough room to have everything stored. It
Yep.
popped out into this big, it felt like a mansion when I was a kid. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like we had our little nook over here. Me and my sister had our little bed over here, and we could close the curtains and giggle all night and piss our parents off.
Yep. Exactly. Oh yeah. Like when my kids were little and we went camping with them, and like my kids were very busy. They were very busy kids. They're like Jackson, super busy.
Mm.
And we had the bunk beds in the back, and the bottom one, it folded out. It was like a garage almost, to put storage underneath it, but
Yeah.
they plastered up against the windows, right, when they're supposed to be going to sleep. Of course, all the adults are outside having fun and like, we want out. But you know what, great memories. And then you want to create those memories, but don't break the bank to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just be weary.
Don't be weird.
Leery. Don't be weird. We have a little joke, one of me and my friends, and it's she got binoculars for her birthday and somebody said, "Don't be a creeper."
That's so funny.
So that just reminded me of that. It was funny. And now every time she brings her binoculars out to look at birds, everybody pipes up, "Don't be a
Brr.
creeper." It's
Uh,
fun, but yeah, like, oh, I got off track. Never mind. Thought gone.
yeah, there it was.
Woo, gone.
Yeah. We have a beautiful campground just another 5, 8 minutes from our house. So I see all the toys going by all the time, right? And we have a ton of trails. So like there's the
Mm.
quads and the side by sides and the trailer to haul four of them at a time. And then we see the river boats because we have the river just right there, which is beautiful. And I'm like, oh man, I'd love to go out on the river. I really, if anybody's in the local area, I would really like to be your friend. So you can take me on your boat because I am not buying a boat.
Okay, I'll bring my boat up to come visit you
Yeah.
and
Sounds
we'll
good.
go boating. FYI, I bought a used boat for $1,500.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It came with the motor and the trailer. I
Yeah.
saved up.
But
Yeah.
it's again um a lot of this stuff is bought on emotion,
Hmm.
right? Especially like if you go to those, like in the spring, they have like, come on down, we're having a big blowout or big RV setup, and what do you know, the bigger
0% financing.
0% for your first day. But I don't know. I don't know what made me think of this topic for today. Oh, Braden sent me. He said he's gonna buy a holiday or a camper. Well, I thought a camper, but it's a holiday trailer. And I'm like, please, dear Lord, please do not make it a new camper. And then he sent it to me, and it's used, very affordable, great condition, looks amazing, and he can pay cash for it. Like I'm just so proud of him,
Perfect.
right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You taught him well.
I must have. He must have listened. Learn from your mom and dad's mistakes because
Hmm.
I remember when we first bought our first brand new pickup truck, a little Dakota, and we bought it when we were on holidays down on the island. And we had a little camperette.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah. So I could stand in it. Mike had to bend his head. But it was like $800. Like you don't even, it was just, it was funny. So the guys put it from the one truck to the other truck. For us, everybody can just pick it up and move it. But then on the day that's before our bi-weekly and weekly payments were out. It was the monthly. And when our first monthly payment came out, we almost we were like, holy shit.
Hmm.
Because we did not plan to buy a vehicle. We just happened to be driving by all the car dealerships and we're like, hey, well, let's go take a look. And then we're like driving out with a brand new vehicle. So learn from our
Yeah.
misstatements.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Yes, be leery of the deals.
Yes.
When like you were just saying, big blowouts, come down 0% financing, defer your first payment for 6 months, and it's yours because now all of a sudden you're like, ooh, it's June. I've got a brand new camper. I don't have to pay until December.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But then December hits
And that's
and it's
Christmas too,
Christmas
by the
time.
way. Hmm.
And you have a birthday coming up in February and you have Valentine's Day in February. And then you're like, oh my gosh, how can I do this? So you have to just be practical, try to take those decisions away from your emotions,
Yeah.
think about it, and don't be rash, just you can be prosperous, you can have these great things, you can make those great memories, but just like Charlene said, don't do emotional buying.
Well, and Tanisha, even think about this. Loss. um, okay, so we're willing to do bi-weekly $300 payments, but we're not willing to put 300 bi-weekly into our savings. Because what's the biggest hole we see when we sit down
No
with people?
savings.
There's nothing.
None. No
Absolutely no
emergency
savings.
fund. No.
Nothing.
Nope.
Yeah. And that's, you know what? The sooner you start, the better off you're going to be. But it's never too late to start.
Hmm. It's never too late, but $50 today can be equal to $500 tomorrow. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like if you start in your 20s with $50 a month, you're going to have the same amount of savings as someone who starts with $500 in their 30s.
Or, yeah. Yeah,
because of compounding.
but it's crazy because unfortunately we're fed the payment plans, the never never plans to own stuff, but they don't
Mhm.
advertise the savings plan so that you can own stuff cash because the finance companies are making a shit ton of money off of us. A ton,
Shit ton.
shit ton, right?
Shit ton.
And
If you owe, let's say, $10,000 on whatever thing you bought, okay, and you're paying 8 to 12% interest, you're actually over a 6-year period paying $20,000 back.
isn't that crazy? And now, can you imagine um, you were putting those payments away and earning to you 8 to 12% interest on your money?
Yeah. Crazy,
Yeah,
hey?
it is crazy.
Yeah. And credit cards, don't even get me started on credit
Don't
cards.
even get
You
me
know
started.
what? Credit cards, oh, they are a necessary evil. You have to have them to build your credit. I get it. But there is not enough education surrounding what kind of balance you should hold,
Yeah. How you
what
should
kind of
use
credit
that.
cards,
Yeah.
how you should use it. And then people are going, oh, okay, well, I have a $5,000 credit card, but it's maxed all the time and I can never get the payment down. Well, that's because you're at a 24.99% interest rate and your balance is doubling every 2 years.
Yeah.
Every 2 years because of interest, because all you're doing is you're paying the minimum interest payment
Yeah.
because that's all you can afford, which is
So,
not their fault. It's just something that they weren't taught, and it's driving me crazy.
it's Freddie. I follow Ron Butler. He's a mortgage broker out of Ontario. I love him. He's like 67 years old. He's been in the industry a very long time.
Hmm.
And he's actually been in the House of Commons in front of Parliament. And he's also been on some other big, like, he's a big deal. He's like, I'm a big deal. He's so funny. I just love him. Actually, I wonder if he'd come on our podcast. But I was watching him today, and like, even pre pandemic, there was no defaults in mortgage payments. And now the defaults right now, like that, and default means you have your 90 days behind.
Days behind.
And he's
Mm.
like,
And he's like,
it's out of control. So not just the
so
mortgage,
not just the mortgage
our payments are being missed and credit card payments are being missed.
payments are being
And
missed.
it's the
And it's
biggest
the
they've seen
biggest
in
thing.
Canada
Hmm. Yeah,
in 2025. Yeah. But we have solutions. We can help you guys.
we do. Yep. There are ways to strategize. Like you don't have to drown. There's strategies, B, there is ways to eliminate,
Yep.
restructure.
Yep.
There's so many different ways. Bankruptcy is not your only option, and don't feel like that is. There is other opportunities out there for you to
Get
get
back
out.
on.
But
Yeah.
you and I were just talking about this earlier, though. Once you get out, you have to have that hard, basically, it like you have to make that hard decision of getting rid of the credit card
Yep.
or lowering your balance to a manageable level
Yep.
and learning a new skill of using paying, using paying, using paying.
Yep.
I'm currently learning that skill because I did some strategies. I got out of debt. And all of a sudden grad happened and my Vegas trip happened and I was like, "Oh my gosh, how did that happen again?"
Right.
And it does pile up quickly because you think, "Oh, that $15 sandwich at the airport for my son's not gonna, I'll pay that when I get back." And so now I have it actually in my calendar that every Thursday I sit down for 10 minutes and I go through my credit card statement and I figure out what I spent and I pay it straight every week. because if you forget about it and you don't look at it at least once a week, it does get ahead of you.
Oh,
And then all
100.
of a sudden it's 1,000, it's 1,500, it's, and then you're going, oh my God, how am I going to afford that? But if you do it once a week, it's like, oh, that was 150 bucks.
Yeah.
Okay, that's manageable. I can pay that off right now and I can move on again.
Yeah.
Because using it, paying it does help you, but you have to learn the new skill of looking at it, being aware of it, and paying it.
Credit card companies are so funny.
Companies are so funny.
I'll tell this really quick story and then we'll let everybody go. But um anyways, my daughter has a credit card, and the crazy thing is they gave her one when she was 17, for God's sakes. Can you believe it? I couldn't get a credit card till I was like 20, 21. Like, I'm like, but they're called student credit cards.
Um,
So, anyways, she called me the day. She's like, Mom, I put so much dollars and I have a negative balance. Like, she actually overpaid it, right? So now she has a negative. So then she went to use her credit card and got declined. And she's like, I don't own anything on my credit card. So she called the company and they're like, this is what this woman said to her. Just because you pay extra on your credit card doesn't mean you're upping your limit. And she's like, no, I get that. I don't want to up my limit, but I want, so they're actually planning a trip. So she wanted to have extra on there to pay for the plane tickets. But yet she can't use her credit card. It says declined, but she doesn't owe anything. Plus she has a negative, like an extra amount, like 300 bucks extra on there. So this woman tells her, yeah. So, anyways, she got no answer. So then she called back. She got a different person. And what happened is because she made that extra too much payment, they actually blocked her card because that's out of her norm. So why couldn't that woman the first day tell her, oh, we're just unusual activity, which is great to have that security, but
mhm.
here she has a zero balance. Well, actually, plus an extra amount on there, so because she
Yeah.
wants the plane tickets on her credit card. So now she's on a search for a new credit card, and she's researching them. She's researching
Mhm.
the fees. She's researching their interest because what they get you at is, oh, your first 6 months is at 4.9%, and then after that it's 24.99. Right? So
Mhm.
she's doing research and going through, she went through CIBC, RBC, WestJet. I think she finally settled on the WestJet one. But yeah, she's looked at like 4 or 5 different companies. How many people are actually researching their credit cards?
No, they get the little thing in the mail saying you're pre-approved and they go, oh,
Yeah. Yay.
that'll help me up my credit
Yeah. Sign me up.
because having more credit utilization is good, isn't it? And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're like, oh, now I have three $2,000 credit cards.
Yeah.
And
So
oh my gosh, I'm not gonna like slam different companies, but there are some credit cards out there. They are like the consumer ones where you go into a store and you get a credit card that is from that store.
yeah.
They're like 36.9% interest.
Like Tim Hortons has a credit card. Tim
Tim
Hortons.
Hortons has a credit card?
Yeah. So
What?
think about that. Tim Hortons has a credit card. They're a coffee store. Well, that's what they're supposed to be. But now they have a credit card. So now what they know is there is money to be made by handing out credit cards. So now you're going through the Tim Hortons and they're like, oh, I got a Tim Hortons card. I'll use my Tim Hortons card. Cha-ching,
Oh,
cha-ching,
I get
cha-ching.
points. I get points. I
Yeah,
get
or that
points. I might
points
get a
thing.
free.
Yeah,
Of course, they're giving you points because they're making double your money on you.
yeah,
That $3 coffee is now a $6 coffee.
yeah, exactly. So,
That's
oh,
insane. I can't believe Tim Hortons has a credit card.
yeah. Oh, I was on a US flight, probably coming back from Vegas into Seattle. What's that? Is that United? Anyways, before you land, the flight attendant, she comes around with a credit card form. Oh, before you get off the plane today, here's, if you want to look at the United credit card. Here's the form. Yeah, just saying.
Mm,
Because they know there is money to be made handing out credit cards.
mhm.
So, anyways, I kind of went off on a rant and but
Yeah,
yeah,
we went far left from holiday trailers to credit
yeah,
cards.
right. But it's just like do your research, make sure you actually can afford it. Put like do a pre payment plan to yourself. Do a
Hmm.
bi-weekly $300-400 a month or bi-weekly into your savings account and see how that affects your living
Hmm.
instead of just going down and signing on the dotted line. Like make sure you're capable of doing it.
Yeah,
um, I think that's a great plan. We got lots of great ideas, people. So yeah, and we don't charge
yeah,
you to do that.
yeah. And you know what? As always, subscribe, follow. That's the best way for us or for you to support us and hear more of our content. And follow us on social media. We'd love to hear from you guys too. Are you guys having experiences with debt? Have you had a story, that you want to share with the world so that someone can learn from something that you experienced?
Yeah,
Share it with us. We'd love to have it on the podcast and we'd love to talk to you on the podcast too. If I think I'm actually going to do that this week. I'm going to put out a little thing on my social media of people if they want to do a collaboration or on our podcast. We'd love to arrange a time to talk about a topic that's important to you, something that's brought you prosperity, something that you've learned from, anything. I think that would be really fun for our listeners. So yeah, thank you so much for listening today, and Charlene, that was awesome. I love
yeah.
sitting
Who
here and
knew a
chatting with you.
little chit chat today would take off? Woo! But thanks, guys, for listening. Enjoy the rest of your
Yeah.
week, and we'll see you all next week.
Yes. Bye.